You're with a captive now, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was that like, the transition?
Believe it or not, the captive portion of it was pretty daunting because when you go from the independent side, you have access to 70 or 80 carriers. You can put that one customer with, any of your 15 personal lines carrier. You can write everything. You can do everything you want, right? You go to the captive world, it's like you got one guy, right? You got one player and you're like, well, how am I going to make this work? Yeah. And so for a while there, in 2016, the captive I was with, man, they took massive rate increases in Georgia, and it became a huge, huge issue because I was looking at 25 to 50% rate increases. And, my wife's like, why did we do this? You're,
right.
you're miserable. Yeah. She's like, you are absolutely miserable. And, so I always use that, scenario. I said, okay, well, I'm going to make this work. So I got to quote 10 customers to write one. Okay. I used to quote one customer with 10 different carriers. And, I listened to your, recently your gentleman that you had on that did the commercial rater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I just listened to that up. Yeah. So, we had Easy Links and all of the raters back in the day. But at the end of each one of those, there was always one piece of information that was missing. So you had to go back into 2 or 3 carriers. So it was always, you were spending additional amount of time. So, I'd rather have those build up my database, right? So once I did that, and then, we briefly talked, Craig, via message. And I think Jason, we even chatted before. I got in direct mail. And for me, it's been great. Mortgage referrals and direct mail. Our lead product for us is homes. So it all depends on where you're at. You guys know that.
Yeah. Which bait are you going to fish with?
Exactly.
I would say you're pretty narrow and deep with that lead source, right?
Oh yeah. I mail out for like 12 other agents right now.
Awesome.
And, we have a little sweatshop at the office that we call, so we're basically, and I bought all the equipment, and I don't make very much money off of it, honestly. I just use it to pay for my postage is what I'm doing. I'm not really trying to get rich off of it. I keep another funny story is I had a guy that worked for me. He left for sports management to go out to Utah. He came back, and at the time I didn't have my ECP, so I just didn't have a spot for him. So he wanted to come work, for the company that we represent. And I got him a job with another agent, but he works out of my office. So his wife works there running my mailroom. He works in my office, not for me, but for another agent. And I'm really big in that, working with other agencies to really try to, pull our resources, because, we all employ like 10 or 11 people, but none of us can really spend the kind of money you need to really market or, find different tactics that actually work without, sharing that cost.